Coming up next, I'm gonna tell you my favorite 3 oud fragrances right now. Again, these lists always change, but 3 that I think you should check out. A couple of them, you're gonna be surprised. 1, I don't think you'll be surprised. Anyways, find out what they are coming up next. Welcome back everybody to Joel the Nose, here as you can see at Osme Perfumery in Miami. Today's video, as I said at the top, my 3 favorite oud fragrances right now. So, oud, right, it's one of the classic fragrance notes. It's sometimes controversial because, you know, oud for the, I guess, beginner or even trained fragrance aficionado, depending on what type of oud you like. I mean, it comes from all over the world. You know, so there's Cambodian, there's from Laos, there's, I mean, from Africa, there's from, you know, from Asia. You can really find it anywhere. And not only that, but there's also very, you know, differing degrees in fragrances of how, what we call stinky the oud is. When I say stinky, I mean that, of course, in a joking way, but also serious. Oud can be very pungent, and some people that's, you know, a little bit too strong for them. But oud was not something I enjoyed when I started my fragrance journey into the niche world probably about 5 years ago, and it's now one of my absolute favorites. Sometimes I like the stinkier the better, because when you get it on your skin, it just performs magic. But let's get right into this. My number 3, I'll do this 3, 2, 1, is new to me. I think it's relatively new. I'm not sure when it came out, but I think it's relatively new. And this is from the British house Thameen, and it's carved oud. Carved oud, of the 3 that I'm showing you here today, is going to be the most wearable and the most, what I would say, you know, entry-level oud fragrance for those of you looking to try oud and you want something that gives you a little bit of an oud kick, but it's not overpowering and it's not, quote, stinky. This is the fragrance for you. These are excellent, excellent wearable, excellently blended fragrances. This one starts out with a nice top. I'm gonna put it on my skin, just again, so you guys can kind of see my reaction. Oh yeah, it's the beginning, the opening is this, it's got this beautiful kind of pink pepper. It gives a little bit of a spicy kick, a little bit of freshness, and then it has like cypress oil from the cypress tree. And then it kind of blends or dries down into the heart notes of like an iris accord and vetiver from Haiti, which is the best vetiver in the world, and cedar. And I love all those. I love vetiver, I love cedar, and of course, oud. So the oud in here, you can smell it right from the beginning, but it is a very muted oud. This is, again, a very good fragrance for those of you looking, I think, to start out and you're not sure if you are, you know, ready for the stronger ouds. Now, these last 2 are not beginner ouds. These are big boy ouds. You gotta put on your big boy pants, all right? This is going to one of my all-time classics. I almost always mention this one, and this is from Xerjoff, and it is Luxor. Luxor from the Oud Stars collection, which is a very popular collection of theirs with really good selection of fragrances, obviously oud based. Luxor to me is like, in the Oud Stars collection, it's like the granddaddy. It is El Jefe, it is, I mean, it's the master. It is strong, stinky oud. You gotta, I'm gonna put it on my skin, again, so you guys can see, right here. And yeah, that is, it's got that, it's almost kind of like, smells like, I don't want to, you know, get graphic here, but it basically smells like almost 2 people after they've been having sex. It is something that, like sweat and sex, it is very erotic, it is very sexy. It's got this opening with a cinnamon, a sweet, spicy cinnamon, but it also has leather and tobacco and incense. And of course, the oud is prominent right from the beginning. It's very intense. Again, there are, you know, lesser stinky ouds in the Oud Stars collection and also from Xerjoff in general. They give you a really wide variety. So if you're ready to step up your game though, and you really want to go, you know, all in for a strong oud fragrance, highly suggest Luxor. Now that leaves me with my favorite one right now. This is my favorite, and again, there are many great oud fragrances. I'm not even touching all the great ones from Bodicea or Floris, or even more from this house. I mean, it really goes on and on. I mean, Initio, a lot of people, of course, love Oud for Greatness, but this one is my favorite one right now from Fragrance du Bois. It's Oud Noir Intense. Oud Noir Intense. This is, boy, someone just came in and they saw I was filming a video, and so I had it out and they sprayed it once and bought it. Right, basically a blind buy. They picked it up, bought it, and left, and they're on their way to Colombia right now, and they're filming movies. They do movies and shorts and content, and they're going down to Medellin. So pretty cool people I just met. This one, again, is put on your big boy pants, put on your armor. This is strong, pungent oud. But it's really, I think what I like about this one is to kind of offset a little bit of that. At the top, they have a nice bergamot cardamom combination. So you do get this kind of, that bergamot, that citrusy little bit of effect at the top, gives it a little bit of almost sparkling effect. And it also has rose. Again, I could have gone with Oud Rose Intense, which is one of my favorites. That's one of my favorite rose fragrances, and oud, but that's a more muted oud. This is really strong oud, of course, Oud Noir Intense. I mean, it says it all in the name. But it does have rose in here also, so rose and oud are two really classic combinations. It's basically, they go together like milk and cookies. It's, one of those really good combinations. But then you have a nice kind of like saffron note that mixes really well with the cardamom. I love saffron as a note, and it gives it a little bit of a sweet spiciness. And one of the things that that's unique about this, that they list as the notes, the oud in here is 100% pure oud vintage oud. So obviously, when you talk about vintage oud, this is something that has been aged for a long time. And for those of you who don't know, Fragrance du Bois, they are the supplier. They harvest their own oud from all around the world, and they actually supply it to a lot of the houses, like Xerjoff and some other really big houses get their oud from Fragrance du Bois. These guys really, it's hard to argue, do oud as well or better than anybody. Again, I left off some other ones, like I was going to put Alhambra oud from Ramon Manigal, but I've talked about them a lot, and although I still love them, these are my three favorite right now. And really, try Oud Noir Intense, guys. If you love oud and you love that strong oud, this is an excellent one. In fact, I'm going to put a little more on, and I'm going to wear this one out now. I do have a meeting that I'm leaving for right now. I'll be back soon with another video, guys. Thanks for watching, and peace, love, and perfumes.